Hey everybody, welcome back to Sean's Gadget Kitchen in the dorm room shootout, where I'll put 3 small but mighty kitchen gadgets to the test. In one corner, we've got the grilled cheese toaster, promising golden gooey perfection with zero hassle. Next up, the hot dog toaster, built to deliver that classic ballpark experience right from your dorm desk. And finally, the Cuisinart breakfast sandwich maker, claiming it can whip up a full breakfast in minutes. Which gadget will remain supreme? Which one will fumble under pressure? And most importantly, will I burn the dorm down in the process? Stick around and find out. All right, first up, the grilled cheese toaster. It's got this really cool yellow retro look. It's made by Nostalgia. They've got a line of different gadgets out there in the series that are pretty cool. Let's take a look at the control panel. You have your toast control lever here, like any toaster. You've got a cancel button right there in case you start to see smoke, right? That's always going to be a panic situation. You've got a preheat button. You always want to preheat this first before you start it so it's hot when you start toasting. And then you've got a defrost button in case you're going to cook something that's like bread that's frozen. And then you've got a melt zone selector. So let's go up to just about 5 there. Then to get us started out, what we're going to do is take our sandwich holders. Here we're going to make a grilled cheese. We've got just 2 pieces of whole wheat bread. We're going to start out by buttering this guy up. You want to get a nice crispy exterior there. Then we'll do the other side. Okay, so sandwich number 1 is ready to go. Put that in there. It's just kind of barely fitting. Got some butter over there. Good thing I had this towel ready to go. We got some butter over here. Let's prep sandwich number 2. This one's got American cheese, a slice of ham, more cheese. Do the same thing. We'll get this guy buttered up. So before we get our sandwiches in the machine, we are going to do a preheat and let that get hot. All right, the preheat is complete. You can see there's a little bit of smoke coming out. All right, let's toast. I'm going to push those guys in there just a little bit. Okay, so they just popped. Let's take a look and see how they're doing. They look a little smushed. I can see a little bit of brownness. Same thing with this. I'm going to say it needs a little bit longer. So if that was set on 5, you'd probably want to go 6, 6.5, maybe even 7 and just watch it to make sure it didn't burn. But we're going to go just a little bit longer here. So it's been about 1.5 minutes, I'd say. Let's manually pop this and see where we ended up. Okay, so it says to leave it in there for about another 30 seconds to give it some additional melting time. So let's do that. Okay, so we've let them rest there for about 30 seconds. Let's take a look at sandwich number 1. Sandwich number 1 is our straight up grilled cheese sandwich. You can see here that there are some brown spots. This didn't look like it really browned up much. About the same on the other side. I'm going to speculate if you just went really light with the butter that you'd probably get a better result. So let's cut into this and see what we have. Yep, you can tell you've got some melty cheese. That looks pretty good. If it was a little bit more brown, I'd be very happy with this. But let's go in for a bite. All right, so let's paint a scenario here. You're in your dorm room. It's late, you're up studying, you need a snack. This is going to do it. I think this would be really good. Let's take a look at sandwich number 2 now and see how we did here. Okay, so that's interesting. We've definitely got more browning on this one. You can see some of the ridges that were left from the sandwich holder. A little more browned on that side. Let's cut into this and see what we did. Cheese is nice and melty, you can see. That ham's looking pretty snug in there. That's really tasty. So, again, you're up late studying, you're out partying with your friends, you come back, you got a little fridge, you got some ham, you got some cheese, you got some bread. You are good to go. Up next is the hot dog cooker, also by Nostalgia. It's got a pretty cool retro vibe to it. It's got a plunger, works just like a normal toaster. It's got a temperature setting, or actually a guide, a timer, and then a stop button. In this cool hot dog carrier, we're going to have this set on 4 out of 5 because there's no raw dog in it here in the Gadget kitchen. All right, so let's get this set up. We're going to cook a couple dogs here. We'll get those in there. Next, we'll get our buns going. See if we can fit them in there without destroying them. Okay, it's a little bit of a tight fit, so let's see what happens. Okay, the doggies are in. I can tell I'm gonna have to manually push those buns in there a little bit, probably manually pull them out too. And we'll check back in a few. Okay, so they've been in there for maybe a minute or so. I hear some sizzling, and I can see just the faintest bit of smoke. Very interesting here. Okay, so the way this works is that the hot dogs are exposed to the element and the buns are not. So we're not really toasting the buns here. We're just going to warm them up a little bit. But because they are making some contact, I'm going to pop this and let's just take a look and see where we're at. So the buns, yeah, this one's getting a little burned. So I think what I'm going to do is pull that out. Here you can see where this made contact with the kind of the wall of the toaster here, but they're not really that toasty, but they're nice and soft. So let's take a look at these hot doggies. Yeah, those cooked up pretty good. You know, I'm just going to put them down for just another minute or so to get them cooking a little bit more. Okay, that's been another minute or so. I think these are going to be good. Let's pop these up and see what happens. We're going to just manually pull these out. That looks like a good hot dog. This one looks pretty good. All right, so we can't leave these guys naked. That would be sacrilege, right? So let's just dress them up a tiny bit. All right, we're going to go in with some chili here. A little bit of onion, just like you'd have at Detroit Coney Island. Get some mustard on there. Should I add some ketchup? No, I don't think so. Last time I did that, I got some death threats. So let's see. I think that looks pretty good. That'd be a good late night snack, I think. let's give it a bite and see how it tastes. So what's my impression? I'll be honest, I didn't think that hot dog was going to be cooked all the way. I thought maybe it'd be a little cold in the middle, but this, to my surprise, it was cooked all the way through. Really delicious. That'd be another, as I said, great late night snack. All right, for the final gadget, we're going to take a look at the Cuisinart breakfast sandwich maker. We're going to go back in time to one of the first videos I made and take a look at it that way. First thing you're going to do is lift the lid. You're going to have wanted to hit it with some cooking spray. Put in your bottom bun. Put in your meats. Close the ring separator. Now add an egg. Looks like we sprung a leak there. Now add your top bun. Close the lid. In about 5 minutes, you're going to have one tasty sandwich. All right, so about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes have gone by. Lift up, remove the separator. Lift up the top ring. There you go. Lift the bottom ring. Now grab a spatula and slide that off. Look at that steam. That's looking pretty tasty. Don't forget the cheese. Now let's take an up close and personal look at this and see how it's going to be. I think that's going to be just fine. So let me tell you what I think. All these gadgets are easy to use and they're small, so they'll be easy to store. They're somewhat limited in their use, unlike, say, a toaster oven, but they're cool because they specialize. The hot dog toaster is really only going to do hot dogs and buns and perhaps sausage. The breakfast sandwich maker and the grilled cheese sandwich maker, you could do variations of sandwiches. Final thoughts? The grilled cheese toaster is the champ. And of course, that's just a personal preference. I like ham and cheese sandwiches, and you can make two at once. I don't eat a lot of hot dogs, so the hot dog cooker wouldn't be for me, but it worked just fine. Second place is a breakfast sandwich maker. It cooks up a crispy, tasty sandwich, but you are limited to one at a time. That's going to wrap up another episode of Sean's Gadget Kitchen. Thanks for watching and have a good one.